want to paraphrase a letter that I did get from one gentleman who wrote, Mr. Pallone, my wife asked me what I wanted for my birthday this year, and I told her that I wanted that book by that umpire, Dave Pallone, it's called Behind the Mask, so I could hate him more than I hated him when he umpired. Is that person here? No. But the letter went on to say, but when I read your book, I didn't hate you. I hated myself. I hated myself for hating you. And I hope someday that I will be able to thank you in person for teaching me more than I will ever have learned in my life on my own. And I thank you, and I wish you luck. I consider this a fireside chat. Now, granted, you all wouldn't be able to fit into my living room. I know that. But I am one who wants to talk to you about how it feels. How it feels to lose a loved one, not to show your grief. How it feels to be in an office with an empty picture frame because you're gay. And if you have a picture of the partner in your life, or the one that you love more than anything in the world, someone will look at you and have a snide remark. Someone will say, who's that? And you can't be honest enough to say, that's the person I love in my life. That's the person who I look at every day to give me strength. That is the person who I live for. But I know it's difficult to ask questions. Believe me, I know, but I can get you to talk to me. But it's also difficult to be the very first one. So I decided that I would skip the very first question and go right to the second one. Oh, you need him. They want you in the back. She's talking to him just in case no one knows. And he's leaving. So, who will be second? Now, please don't be afraid. I'm not here to recruit. Yes.
But to build on that, you said when you went to the baseball game with your dad at 11, you knew you wanted to play baseball or be on the baseball field. Did you know at 11 that you were different? I mean, I believe that people are born the way they are born. But at what age does a child begin to know, or when did you know that you were different? Did you try dating? When did this happen?
Well,
I didn't.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. I think, I can honestly say that at 11, 10, 9, 10, 11, I felt that I was different, but I didn't know why I was different. I have friends that have told me that they knew when they were 5, 4, 6. Whether I believe them or not, I don't know. I don't know. There is no such thing as what age. And I talk about people who don't accept it until they're 50 or 60. I mean, we were talking at lunch today that one of the vice presidents of Ford at 65, 66 years old just recently came out after he retired. All those years he lost of his life. Speaking out. Speaking out when you hear a disparaging remark about anyone. Doesn't matter what it is. Just speak up. I was told, and I heard this morning, and again, as Gary had said, nothing will be tolerated when it comes to stuff like that. And it shouldn't be. When someone says something bad about a person, speak up. Labels, you hear the old story, labels are for clothes. They are. They're not for people. I leave you with the message of, I talk about speaking out, and it's so important to speak out. And it's also important to understand that we never know when we're going to have a new hero in our lives, or heroine. And in this case, for me, it was a heroine. And it was very apropos that it happened in the Houston Astrodome in 1992. And as I was sitting at home watching the Republican convention, this woman stood up and became a hero of mine, and I didn't even know her. Her name was Mary Fisher. Her father was a staunch Republican. Republicans, you know, were not the greatest fans of people living with or dying with AIDS. And one of their own stood up in front of them and said, I am HIV positive. I am dying of AIDS. Mary Fisher that day spoke out. And she quoted Martin Niemöller, the anti-Nazi pastor, when she said, first, they came for the socialists, but I was not a socialist, so I did not speak out. And then they came for the trade unionists, but I was not a trade unionist, so I did not speak out. And then they came for the Jews, but I wasn't a Jew, so I did not speak out. And then they came for me. And there was no one left to speak out. If I leave you with any message, you've got to speak out. When you see an injustice, you speak out. Robert Kennedy said, it is from numerous diverse acts of courage that human history is shaped. Each time a man sets out for a new ideal, or stands up for the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope. And crossing each other through a million centers of energy and daring, those ripples build a current that can sweep down the mightiest wall of oppression and resistance. He said that in South Africa in 1966, fighting against apartheid. Before you leave here today, remember that you, and myself, we are those ripples. Each and every one of us. And if we work together, we can build a current that will sweep down the mightiest wall of oppression. Thank you, and God bless. Thank you.